Hello, everybody, and welcome back to OST-2357 Microsoft Access Tutorial. This is Lesson 2 of Microsoft Access 2013 tutorial, Work with Datasheet. We're going to go ahead and open that up. And, not at the beginning, Work with Datasheet, Access 2013, Lesson 2. Here are the 10 steps that we'll be doing. In this lesson, we are going to create a new database file, create a table in design view, save a table structure, change table views, modify table structure, and format and print a data sheet. So this is, you guys can go ahead and read through this on your own, or you can pause the video and read through it before you continue. But this is basically the steps on how to create a new database, right? So open access and create a database. This is how to create a table in design view. We're actually going to go ahead and just do the steps. These are the different data types that Access uses. These are the field properties. And then we are going to start right here on 2.5, drill 1, create a new database file. So the first thing you have to do, right, is open access. So go ahead and open access. In the file name box, this is the name. So we are going to create blank database. We are going to name it this. Right here. And then, of course, you're going to want to put your last name. And then we also need to save it in our file like we did in the last video in our folder where we have everything else saved. So remember, mine is in D, HCCOST 2357. And here is the ones from lesson 1. And we're going to go ahead and see, yeah, that's where we want it. And then just click create. And then now we have our first created database. All right. Save, do that, continue to drill 2. All right. So now drill 2, create a table in design view. Open this database, but we already have it open. If it's not already open, all right, click the arrow under view on the home tab and select design view. So right here is view. We should already be in design view, which we were already, right? The save as box comes up. We are going to change it to customer addresses. Is going to be the name. And click OK. So now we have a customer addresses table. And then we have to put in the fields that we want. In the field grid pane, enter the field name and the data type as follows in this box. Right. So we have customer ID. And this should be a number. So change to number. And then the description is 6-digit number assigned by the accounting department. All right. And then the second one is company name. That's a short text. And then I'm just tabbing through, right? So address, tab over is short text, no description. City, short text. Oh, it did have a description here. Street or P.O. box address. Nothing for city, state, and zip code. Also short text. Okay. Click on the state field in the field properties pane and change field size to 2. Right. So we can go here Down here is where you make your changes. So we want field size of 2. That's going to limit the state to or whatever, like FL, MA, those kind of things, right? So we get that. Click on the company name field. And in the field properties pane, change field size to 50. So we change that field size to 50. And then click on the address field, change the field size to 50. And then city, 50. And then customer ID field, and that back up here, customer ID, primary key is right. We want to make it the primary key, which it already is the primary key, right? Otherwise, we'd turn it off. So you can see right here, down at the bottom where it's indexed, no. But if you make it the primary key, yes, and then you can have no duplicates, right? So that's where you would have, student ID number, social security number, one of those kind of things that you would want to make that you don't want duplicates, right? We don't want two customers with the same ID in our database, right? Because then that would be duplicates. We don't need duplicates. You don't want two students, two identical student records of the same person, right? So that's why you make it a primary key. Okay, what's next? Save the table structure and settings. Save button on the quick access toolbar. Right here, save, and then change the data sheet. Change to datasheet view. So we go to view, change to datasheet view. You can also click right here, right? So that's design view, that's datasheet view. It's telling you which one you can click to, not which one you're on, right? So right now we're on datasheet view. If we click it, we're back in design view. You can also do the down arrows so you know which one you see. This one is highlighted. If we switch to that, that one is highlighted, right? Okay. That's it for that step. Let's go to the next one, 2.7. Now we are going to print a data sheet. So access tables, forms, and reports can be printed. A printout of an access table may not always be ideal way to display your data because tables can be quite long. However, you may want to print the table so you can check accuracy of records. To preview and print a database table, open the table you want to print. We already have it open. Click the File tab, click Print, and then Print Preview. Files right here. Print, Print Preview. Brings it up, nice. You can see everything that we have there. Obviously, we haven't entered any records yet. Oh, we want to look at it in design sheet view, right? So we actually want it in design view, I think. Open, no. Open the table you want to print in, data sheet. Click the File tab, Print, Print Preview. Yeah, we just don't have any records like it shows over here. Click the down arrow for the zoom on the Print Preview tab to select zoom of 100. Right here, we're already there. Guess we're not there. So that's zoom 100. You can also see down here. Right. We didn't really need to do that because ours fit perfectly fine on there. If the data sheet requires more than one page, click the next page button. You can change the page orientation to make data fit on the table better, right? So if we want to change it to landscape, like if we have a longer table, right? We could do that, or portrait. Since this one fits perfectly fine on a portrait page, we'll leave it as portrait. You can change the margins, right? Normal, wide, narrow, or custom, just like Word or any other of Microsoft's programs. Uh, and margin settings, okay. You have all of ours fits perfectly fine, so we don't need to make those changes. But if yours doesn't, feel free to go in there and make the changes that you need. Once you have the printing properties, click print on the print preview tab. Right, oops, click print, and then you will select the printer where you want yours printed to. Go ahead and click OK. It will print it out, and then you can close everything. I'm obviously not going to print it. So right here is close print preview window, and then you're back to the normal screen. That's how you print a data sheet. It would make more sense if we had already entered records so we could see what we were doing, but whatever. So now we're going to enter records. Like, don't you think they should have saved this step to the end? That would have probably made sense. Okay. So open the database. We already have this one open. You can see right here, it's ACC2 drill 1, and then your last name. Is open in datasheet view where you're already in datasheet view, and then enter the data, right? So we'll just start with customer 1, tech data 6233 Bear Lane Drive. And again, I'm just tabbing over Clearwater, Florida. What? 33755-6233. Oops. And customer 2, Inland Micro 1242. Weather Field Way. Wooddale, Illinois. 601 91-1223. Great Land Data. 87 Regency Way. Oh, Regency Drive. Dublin, Ohio. And this is probably a good time to make a point about data accuracy. It's very important that you pay attention to what you are entering so that you do not make spelling errors. And see, because I constantly do that. Because, as they tend to say, that bad data in leads to bad data out. The most important time to be accurate is when you're entering data for the first time. That way, everything moving forward stays consistent. Okay, so now, as you like, we can see, we can't really see all of these fields, right? Because it's being blocked because it's not wide enough. So it says to make your column wider, point to the border, click and drag, right? So what it's saying is just get to the in between the two fields, and then you see the cursor turns to a line with an arrow so that we can make it wider. Make it wider so you can see everything, and the rest of these are fine. Cool. Makes sense? All right. Oh, yeah, you could also do that too. It also said if we go back here, and I forgot about this, but this is how also like in Microsoft Excel and stuff works too. If you double click it, it makes it wide as wide as the longest field, right? You don't have to actually drag it. If you double click it when it's in the move mode or stretch mode, it will do it automatically. So either way, you can do it. All right, where are we at now? Step 4, click the File tab, click Print, and then click Print Preview. Okay, so we can do that again. File tab, click Print Preview. Now we have data in our datasheet view. If we go back over here, now it looks like this. Why this step was first? Who knows? I guess it's telling you how to do it, And then over here, or actually, whatever works. So now it's saying to uh, select landscape orientation. So again, that's right here. So landscape, change the left margin to 1.25. So we can go to margins, custom. What happened? Uh, that works. Normal, wide, narrow. Why won't it let me do custom? Hmm. Well, that's not very cool. Okay, so basically I'm a ding dong. So to do custom margins, not under margins, actually under page setup. Yeah, so here you can change page information. And so we could have changed landscape right here too. And then it says change left to 1.25. Had to go back here and check. So where are we at? We're down here. Change left to 1.25. All the columns of the data table should appear on one page. However, different printers will have different results, right? So 1.25, click OK, move that over. I guess now it would say we're on a custom, right? So we made a custom one here. Actually, if we go back to normal and then change custom, that's probably better. And now we have the regular one, like this was the normal margins, and now we have the normal margins with the one margin changed. That's probably more ideal. Then it says select print from the print preview tab, right? So now you just print it to your printer, and then you are good to go. Not going to print it, obviously. What else did it say? Select print, print range, click OK. Oh, does it actually say? You can print individual, obviously, right? Just like Word or anything else. You can print individual pages, but you can also print individual records, right? But it says to do all records. Close the database. Click close print preview. Click close the database. And then it'll say choose yes if prompted to save. So obviously we need to save it. And there we go. All right. Modify table structure. Once a database table has been created, you may need to modify the table structure. You can change the properties or fields or delete fields or add fields. For example, if you decide to change the field size for zip code field, this is how you do it, right? So it's telling us how to make the changes here. If we go over here, we should actually be doing it. So let's see if we can figure it out on our own. So we need to open the database again. You can click open or you can just open it. Is this the right one? With our records? Yep. So ACC drill 2, or yep. Open customer address table in design view. So we want to go back to design view so we can make our changes, right? Either the type the data type or the field properties. Select the zip code field name. In the field properties, change the field size to 10. So we're still at 255, so we want to change it to 10. Select company name. Click Insert Rows on the Design tab to create a new blank row. So right here is Insert Row. All right. In the new blank row, key credit terms for the field name. Credit terms. And short text for the data type. And then at the end, enter a new field called sales code and short text for the data type and for the description type. Sales representative code. Sales representative code. All right. Save the table and switch to datasheet view. Oh, you can just do it right here. Save. It's just telling you, right, that we changed that one that was 255 to 10. If we had longer text in those fields, it would actually cut it off, right? So, but because we changed zip code from 255 to 10, obviously it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? This is 9-digit zip code with a dash, right? So we're good. And then now it says change to datasheet view and then enter the data shown in the credit terms field. So credit terms, we have net 30. And if we go to sales code, we have BA 00125. And then this one's 210, comma, net 30. TC 78901. This one is net 30. SE 91465. This one is net 60. And the code, sales rep code is AA44589. And so now our data sheet should look like this one, which it does. Select the credit terms field column, tap delete. Oh, now it's telling us to delete it after we just created it. Okay. So you just can select the column and then press delete. And it says, yeah, you're going to permanently delete it. You'd have to re-enter it. Click the save button and then close access. You can always go into the solutions file here to see if it looks the same to make sure you did everything correctly. You can download the solutions file and open it back up. So now we are all set. That was the last step of lesson 2. So in the next video, we will be covering lesson 3 out of the 5 lessons. See you on the next one.